Hey guys, hope you all have been well and welcome back to my channel. I am finally on board with this YouTube thing. We have electricity. Basically what I'm going to be doing today is a get ready with me. It is my go-to makeup look on days when I didn't have electricity and I wanted it to look a little cute when I went out. These get ready with me's will be in the format where I will not be telling you what I'm putting onto my face. You guys know how I am. Regardless if it's makeup related or not, I will list all the makeup products for you. If it's a makeup video, it will be listed down below, as well as on Instagram. And if it's not makeup related, you can find the look on Instagram with all the makeup beauty products listed there for you. So I'm just going to be talking and we're just going to be putting on makeup and getting ready with me. So on October 24th, that is when it all began. Now, prior to all of this happening, putting on foundation, didn't even put primer on. Prior to all of this happening, I had the idea, or I don't know if I was the only one, but I thought that it was going to be a big typhoon. By the way, we call it typhoon, but it's basically a hurricane. It's just in our little area of the world, we say typhoon. I thought it was going to be big. I mean, judging from, the information you could find online, I was following it, and I knew that it was going to be a big one, but I didn't think it was going to be as big as the one we had 3 years ago. Yes, we did have one 3 years ago. You guys know about this as well. You can find it on my previous videos, but we did suffer through another hurricane, a bad one, years prior, and so I was, in my head, I'm thinking, it's going to be bad, but it can't be as bad as that. It can't be like Sodalor. It can't be like that. I was right. It was worse. So on the 24th, that's when the wind started picking up. The most intense portion of the hurricane or typhoon was on the 25th, the early mornings of, so around 2 to about 4 or 5, because that was when it made its closest approach. We're bracing ourselves for a strong hurricane, but not thinking it would be anything of the magnitude. Well, I'm saying we. I should rephrase that. But I didn't think it'd be the same magnitude of that previous one. God forbid. It was hard to go to sleep because the winds were just, it was so piercing, and you just kind of were bracing yourself to see if you needed to act a certain way, if things were going to break or shatter, you needed to, move location, so on and so forth. I can't recall anyone that I know of that was like, oh, this was a walk in a park. I wasn't scared at all. Like, everyone I spoke to was afraid. Just to kind of bring some visual. Cars were flipped over, flipped over. There's pictures of it, you can look. Cars were moved. And in terms of the sound, it's kind of like a constant jet flying over you. It was that piercing. It howled that loudly, and I would hear it, and it just freaked me out. It was so piercing, and I heard stories about houses that completely fell to the ground. I heard of families that had to run into their bathrooms and shelter in place with their families because everything else around the house was either broken in or collapsed. I heard families going into cars. What else did I hear? I've seen videos of like people's roofs just kind of like going up and down. My brother did lose his little outhouse where he tends to his chickens. So my family's land, our little area here, my brother is on the top right-hand corner, then my younger brother right above my property. This is my property, and then my youngest brother is down that way. In his area, he has this little outhouse where he, tends to his chickens and stuff, and that was completely damaged. I remember seeing it the morning of, and I was like crying. because I know how much that meant to him, and he did lose, I think, half of his livestock. Half of them, I think half. And to think that that's what we lost, but there are people that lost like literally everything, and everyone knows someone that has lost something. In light of all of this happening again, and this time even worse than before, which we didn't think was probably possible, people just understand. We're more understanding, we're more generous, we're more kind, because we all get it. We all went through it. There was no one that was, you know, spared. There's a lot of devastation that happened around the island, and you can look it up. It is called Super Typhoon Yutu, and according to what I've heard, strongest typhoon hurricane of 2018, and the strongest hurricane slash typhoon to make U.S. landfall since, I think, either 34, 35, or 38. I'm not sure which year, but definitely the strongest of, you know, my generation, your generation. But I did get a few comments and questions, both on my Instagram and on here, in regards to like how both the government, just recovery in general, has happened, especially in comparison to Puerto Rico. I don't know what to compare it to, because I'm honestly not that well versed in world news. I would say it's pretty fast. We got a lot of support pretty quickly. FEMA was here pretty quick. I think the organization is called Samaritan's Purse. They did come out here. They flew their plane out here, and mind you, we are very far from the mainland United States. It's about 13 hours of flight time from here to there, just to California. So you can imagine it was a long flight. They brought generators, tarps, just a bunch of stuff to help people kind of get back on their feet. Wonderful organization. The military did come here, I would guess by the hundreds, because there were so many trucks. They helped clean the communities. They brought the debris to the dump sites. They're working throughout the entire island. They were also providing reverse osmosis, so the water to families that didn't have regular access to water. We also had different linemen from different places, Grwm as usual, helping their brothers and sisters out here, and other line crews from regional areas around us, Micronesian areas. And we also have a crew that's based out of Colorado. I don't think the line crew themselves are just strictly from Colorado, but I think the company is based out of there. We have quite a few of them here as well. So a lot of things are happening. I would say, I hear, don't quote me on this, but I think we're about 70%, 75% restoration, and that's considering that this was, again, the strongest hurricane typhoon to hit the United States in decades, and the strongest one of this year, and we've recovered as much as we have. I think it also has to do with the people here. We knew, that this happened before, and that we can get through it. Communities have been very resilient and helpful, and people are just being proactive, and so we kind of got back on our feet pretty quickly. Should I put anything? I never really put anything on my lids, so let's keep it as honest as we can. People are very proactive in trying to get their lives back to normal. The last typhoon, I was without electricity for a month. This time it was 2.5. Some funny things that happened when we got power back on was that I forgot that you could turn the light switch on when you use the restroom. Like, I'm just so used to just using the restroom because I don't want to carry a lantern in there. There's not much light going into my bathroom. I remember going in and thinking, why am I sitting here in the dark when I could, just flip a switch. I have brushed up on my native language skills. I'm still probably at an elementary intermediate level. I understand very well. I'm not quite perfect, but I understand a lot. But yeah, in terms of my speaking, no. You definitely spend a lot more time with your family because you're not inclined to just, I'm going to use the internet, all this other stuff. My family and I, we went to dinner a lot, sat around the table and talked, and it extends to my aunts and uncles as well. Like, we would always go over to their house for dinner. Like, I was there last night. We had dinner together again because that's just what you do. And it's nice, you know, kind of like the old days when you didn't really need a phone in your hands. That was real nice. Oh, something to mention is that when we had the last hurricane, that affected the north the most. And in the northern side of the island, we have, I don't have blush. In the northern side of the island, it's primarily farms and more tourist attractions. When the typhoon had passed, we saw the effects. Not to say that the rest of the island did not get affected. We're so tiny. I think it's like 11 by 8 miles. Really small, so we all felt it, but I guess the strongest of the winds were up north that way. It wasn't as visual because most of it is just green. It's trees, it's bushes, and so it just lays flat, whereas this one had affected the south the most. And in the south, it's a lot more populated, a lot more houses, a lot more establishments, and so the intensity of the hurricane or typhoon, I'm just going to say typhoon, was very evident in what you saw because it broke so much. And I remember driving through and getting teary-eyed because it was just that bad. I think my mom said she teared a little bit too because houses are literally right by each other. There was a telephone pole hanging on the edge of a building, concrete buildings that have the broken off in certain areas. Concrete. You hear that? Concrete. And mind you, again, this is like dead of night, early morning. You don't know what's going on. You're just hearing all of this happen. So the next day, you're just like, what the hell? I could hear cars just trying to, maneuver their way through the roads, and it's like, what are you doing? Telephone poles down, power lines just hanging. What else? Debris everywhere. Trees down. I refuse to joke around with people I don't know or I know who have lost stuff because I complain about not having electricity. 72 days, by the way, survived 72 days. But I keep that to myself and within my family. It's like we joke about it, like, God, we don't have electricity. What are we gonna do? But I would never bring that up to someone I didn't know because you don't know what they lost. They might have lost everything. As hard as it was to go through it, and I would never wish this upon anyone, including my worst enemy, I still feel like you can survive, It's not a hopeless thing. As hard as it was, you learn that you really can survive. Like, there's a lot of things that we do to keep us busy and we feel like we need in our lives, but really you can survive. Good people around you, it's gonna be all right. That's where we are. I do have an idea of where I want to take my channel. Granted, the fact that I I'm currently on a no-buy, and I did end up slacking in some other video categories that I usually film, like weight loss, but I'm going to be filming weight loss videos. I'm going to be filming more makeup addiction / no-buy videos or related videos. I will be doing a lot of these types of videos where I just talk, tell you stories about myself, and a few makeup ideas. So that will be coming very, very shortly. And I thank you guys who have just been sending me well wishes, the people on the island well wishes. You don't know how much that means to me, and I've extended that to people that I know, and so it really does mean a lot. But we are back in business, we are here, and we're going to be making some more videos, so be looking forward to them very shortly. Thank you guys for joining me in this video, and till the next one, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.